So this is my view out the front window, sort of. So looking out over the lake. Probably can't see it. Chicago is way off in the distance, but very hazy tonight, so can't see it. My anchor out there, I might want to might want to put out a little more rope so that the chain is laying on the ground. A little bit better holding power there. I didn't realize I put that in a little short. So there's the beach. It's the Gary Beach. I don't know what its real name is, but I call it the Gary Beach. Nobody on it much. You see a jet ski over there somewhere. Anyway, there's a jet ski over there. A couple people out on the beach with their dog. That is about it. At the moment. We do have one boat behind us. There's our hatch with the screen on it. Keeps all the nasty critters out tonight. We do have one boat behind us. He's right in the sun back there, so it's pretty hard to see. Big power boat anchored out there. He's got a dink behind him. I don't know. I assume he's planning on spending the night there. There was another power boat out that way, even further back, but he left. So anyway, so there's the cockpit of the 322. Not quite as large as I would like. It's our old Hunter 280 had a much more seating in the cockpit area, and that's a bone of contention with the Admiral. She likes to be able to lay out on those cockpit seats, and it's a little tight for her, a little short for her to be able to do that. But I like the boat. She sails beautifully. She's inexpensive. She's not a big performance boat, but for a 32 footer she does really, really well, I think, and she's paid for, so life is good. Anyway, so that's our anchorage for the night. We're anchored out in about 6 feet of water is all. Let me check the alarm here. So we are in about 6.5 feet of water. We're not moving anywhere, but and that depth has been pretty much 6 feet something since I parked the boat. So I don't think we're going to have any problem tonight. The winds are probably going to lay down a little bit. I think I'll let out a little more scope. Just that chain is pulling flat overnight. Put a flag up on the spreader today. Looks pretty. Wouldn't want that up there when I'm sailing, but it's cool when we're not. And so that's kind of our deal. Like I said, I think I'll put out a little bit of scope. I'm going to get the grill hooked up on the rail here, so we've got so we can warm up ribs and beans. Crazy jet skiers, I hope they're not hanging around all night long. Once it gets dark, I imagine they'll be gone. So that's our anchorage for the night, and the O'Day 322. This jet skier will be a problem if he stays buzzing around out here all night, that's for sure. Left his girlfriend on the shore in the water. So there's the gas grill all hooked up on the rail. I don't keep it on there just because it's kind of noisy, like, banging around and stuff, so it's pretty little, but I'll throw a few ribs on there to warm up and get those beans hot. I think that'll be a good dinner tonight. I think it's going to be a little bit rolly tonight, though. I usually come out here on a south wind weekend. Unfortunately, this was the weekend to take advantage of getting out here, and we have an east-northeast wind, so waves aren't bad, a foot or so, but it will be a little bit rolly, I imagine, tonight. Guess we'll see how rolly once hopefully the wind dies down a little bit in the evening and waves lay down just a little bit. Doesn't help that we've got the knucklehead over there doing donuts on his jet ski, but I don't know how much he's contributing. There is a bit of a chop just from the wind tonight, so I guess we'll see how it goes. Wind, I don't know what it's blowing. I turned the wind instrument off, but it's probably blowing, 10 or 12 knots right now, I would guess. I did put out a little more scope on the anchor road. We're probably 40 feet. We're only in 6 feet of water, so we've got plenty of scope, I think. But knucklehead. So I think we got plenty of scope out, even since we're only in 6 feet of water. It's a really nice sandy beach floor here, so we should have good holding in the sand. We backed up a little bit, so we're at about 6 to 6.2 feet now. Good news is the anchor alarm went off when I let the scope out. I guess that means that the anchor alarm works, but I don't think I'll leave it on all night just because I don't want to leave the chart on. Glad I'm not out there swimming. Probably get run over. But yeah, you can see how much chop Crazy Boy gives us there when he's zipping around. Well, we'll see how this anchorage is. Usually when I come out here for my overnight weekend, I usually go another 10 or 15 miles east to the Indiana Dunes State Park area. It's a little bit far. It was too far to go today after work, so I didn't try to get out there. And tomorrow, if the winds are favorable, we might head up that way and try to make anchorage there tomorrow night. We'll see what the winds what the winds are doing. I'm hoping that this isn't like a real loud place. There's a steel mill right over there, and there's another one up there, and I'm hoping that we don't hear them all night long. The Gary Airport is just over there somewhere, and I just heard a jet take off. Now there's not a lot of commercial flights going in and out of there. So I don't expect there to be a lot of airplane noise out there, but something just took off up there. So I guess we shall see. I don't know where the nearest train tracks are. Freight trains probably run through the area over there too. So we'll see what this anchorage is like. Tonight was close. We sailed 14 miles, and we're only about 6 or 7 miles in a straight line from the marina, so we do a lot of tacking today to get over here. So we'll see. So we'll have dinner tonight and see how the night's sleep goes. We get to do it all over again tomorrow. We'll see what we can do sailing wise. The only real restriction we have is to be back Sunday to pick Cassie up at the airport at 3 o'clock. So gotta make sure we leave plenty of time to get back on Sunday wherever we end up tomorrow night. So, all right, I'm gonna go get some ribs ready to throw on the grill and have a little dinner. More later. Well, good morning. Sunrise this morning here on Lake Michigan. about 6:39. It was a rolly night last night, but you can see now it's pretty calm. Problem was it rolled a lot last night. And winds are calm now, but anyway, my other problem is the wind kind of shifted around a little bit. Boat's now pointed directly off the shore. I flipped the Garmin on and it says we're in 3-point-some feet of water, so I'm not sure exactly where I'm recording water depth. Boat draws 4.5 feet, but we're definitely not sitting on the bottom. So I think what I'll do when I'm up and awake is to just sound how deep we are. I never did understand exactly where the Garmin's reading the water depth. Sure wish I had my fishing lure this morning though. I lost it yesterday. I would throw the line out, see if we could catch a fish today. Anyway, I'm going back to bed. Well, it was an interesting night last night. Lots of pitching and rolling. That wind wasn't all that strong, but it certainly kept the boat, bouncing around quite a bit. Somewhere in the night, the wind shifted from east to north, I guess. The boat had the stern right to the beach, and when I got up this morning, it sure looked like I was in shallow water. I turned the Garmin on to check the depth, and it said we were in 3.5 feet of water. The boat draws 4.5. But just from the motion of the boat, it didn't feel like we were grounded. But then I took a stick and sounded the depth, and sure enough, we're in about 3.5 feet of water. At least at the stern of the boat. Maybe we just got lucky and the keel was sitting in the deep, was 10 feet forward, 15 feet forward, and that was deeper. Anyway, I pulled on the anchor rode, and boat, moved right out towards deeper water just with the anchor rode. So we're not stuck. That's the good news, I guess. It is a beautiful morning out there, sun shining, water for the coffee's on, and make some breakfast and figure out what we do from here. Sure wish I hadn't lost my fishing lure though. That would have been nice. Would have been good to go fishing this morning. Well, more later. So there's a couple of sandbars between the boat and the shore. I was able to jump off the back of the boat and stand about chin deep in the water. Tried to dive under the boat just to see how much room we had under the keel, but without goggles or a mask, I couldn't really tell too much. So anyway, I decided I would, since I could walk or touch bottom, I'd run ashore. Well, it turns out there's a couple of deep spots between the boat and me, but not bad. It's a beautiful morning. Had breakfast, had to change out a propane tank. Haven't done that since we bought the boat, but finally ran the first one dry. It's going to be a challenge to get it out of the locker apparently, but I got the other one hooked up temporarily for now. Anyway, beautiful day. You would think you were on the Caribbean, in the Caribbean somewhere, if you didn't know any better and you didn't look back towards the steel mill. I need to get a mask or some goggles because there's a fishing line wrapped around the prop or something underneath the boat. I'm wondering if my lure is still attached, but I can't see. I didn't put my contacts in yet this morning so I could
dive under and open my eyes, but I still can't see. It's pretty murky. Need some goggles or something. But anyway, we're waiting to see if the wind picks up enough to sail. Starting to get a little breeze by the look of the flag. Don't know, north or northeast wind I think today. We're gonna figure out if we're spending the night somewhere offshore or not. Last night was quite a rolly experience. So maybe we'll sail all day and end up back at the marina tonight. Sleep there, I don't know yet. But anyway, it's a nice morning. I'm standing in the water. Gonna make my way back to the boat. And get ready to get underway, I think, and give a sail a try. Tally-ho! This is the view headed towards the beach. Pretty abandoned beach right now. Swimming area, I think, is down that way farther, where there's some buoys in the water to, I think, mark off the swimming beach part. I came over here so I wouldn't get yelled at having a boat there. I did see some gentlemen out this morning walking on the beach that yelled, "Sail, boat ahoy," or something like that. "Ship ahoy." I waved to them. So we pan around, and there's the boat. Still a beautiful view out here. Truly, really nice. Now the only problem is I got to get back out there, but I only have to swim about not even halfway. There's one deep spot between the boat and me, and it's out there pretty far. And then right next to the boat, it's shallow again. There must be a sandbar there. So anyway, I'll get ready to swim out. Trying to take a picture. I'm not sure I took one correctly. Well, we finally got rid of our hitchhiker for good this time, I think. He was flitting all around and finally took off. So we're almost past the steel mill. And I was planning to just make the turn and go back into the marina, but I hate to not spend the night out on the hook if I can. So I've put in the coordinates for the same place I spent the night last night, and I figure I'll be there by 5 o'clock. If it's just really rough, I can always get into East Chicago from there. It's only about 7 miles from the marina. And if it's not too bad, then we'll just spend another night. Our only real challenge right now is battery power. So I've been running off one battery for the 2 days so far, and it's about 11.5 volts right now. You don't want to go, I don't think, below 11. But I have been saving one battery, kind of in reserve for starting, and I think I can use it tonight and still have enough juice to start the motor tomorrow. And I could start the engine and charge up the batteries with the alternator, if I really thought I needed to. I don't think I do. I think one battery will easily run what we need overnight and still give us starting power in the morning. So anyway, that's the plan, I guess. By the time we get done, we will have sailed about 24 miles today. It's a very slow sail. Like our average speed today is 3.4 knots. Wind never got above 10 knots. And I've flown the spinnaker pretty much all day. Just because the winds are pretty light. So that's the plan. If I get to the anchorage and find it's just unpleasant, then I can always head into East Chicago, I guess. But we'll give it a try. We'll let you know when we get there.